Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever spent hours imagining the life you want? You picture yourself becoming successful, building your dream career, getting fit, learning new skills, or creating something amazing. You know exactly what you should do. You even make plans. When it's finally time to begin, but you suddenly feel tired, you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. Then tomorrow becomes next week. And before you know it, months have passed. If that sounds familiar, you're not lazy. In fact, the problem might have nothing to do with laziness at all. Today, we're going to uncover the surprising psychology behind why ambitious people often struggle to take action, and more importantly, how to finally break free from this frustrating cycle. Because once you understand what's really happening inside your brain, you'll stop blaming yourself and start building a system that actually works. So if you've ever wondered, why can't I just do the work? Then stay with me until the end. The answer may completely change how you see yourself. The battle inside your mind. Most people believe humanity is strictly divided into the hardworking and the lazy. Reality is far more complex. Inside your mind, two competing systems are locked in struggle. One part of your brain dreams about the future, imagining success and setting ambitious goals. It thrives on envisioning the amazing person you could become. This is the system that buys new books, watches motivational videos, and promises that tomorrow will be different. But there's another part of your brain. Its job is not to make you successful, but to keep you safe. To this system, difficult work feels like danger. Hard work requires energy, brings uncertainty, and carries the constant possibility of making mistakes or failing. Consequently, instead of encouraging you to begin, this system quietly pushes you toward comfort. That is when procrastination begins, not because you are incapable, but because your brain is trying to protect you from discomfort. Ironically, the thing preventing your growth is actually trying to keep you comfortable. Once you understand this, everything makes sense. Why your brain loves procrastination. Let's be honest. When you decide not to work, what usually happens? Maybe you open YouTube, scroll through TikTok, check Instagram, watch another episode of your favorite show, or play one more game. It feels harmless. You tell yourself it is only for 5 minutes, but somehow an hour disappears. Why? Because every swipe, notification, and funny video gives your brain a small reward. That reward is dopamine. Many people think dopamine is simply the happy chemical, but it is actually more accurate to think of it as the brain's reward and motivation system. Your brain quickly learns something important. Working on your goals feels difficult, while scrolling feels easy. One gives immediate rewards, whereas the other offers rewards weeks, months, or even years later. Naturally, your brain starts choosing the easier option. Over time, avoiding work becomes a habit. Habits do not ask for permission. They simply repeat. That is why procrastination feels automatic. It is not because you are weak, but because your brain has been trained to choose immediate comfort over long-term success. The good news? What has been learned can also be unlearned. The biggest lie about motivation. Here is one of the biggest myths in self-improvement. I will start when I feel motivated. It sounds reasonable, but motivation is one of the most unreliable emotions you can depend on. Some mornings you wake up excited, other days you do not. If your progress depends on motivation, your results will always be inconsistent. Now think about people who achieve incredible things. Do they wake up every day excited to work? Not at all. Successful people do not rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They create routines, schedules, habits, and environments that make action easier than excuses. Instead of asking, "Do I feel like doing this today?" they ask, "What does my system tell me to do?" That small shift changes everything, because motivation comes and goes, structure stays. Structure quietly creates success while emotions constantly change. Instead of chasing motivation, build routines that remove the need for it. Perfectionism is fear wearing a mask. Now let's talk about a trap that ensnares countless ambitious people: perfectionism. Many proudly declare, "I'm just a perfectionist," treating it like a strength. In reality, perfectionism is rarely about high standards. It is about fear. Think about it. How many times have you delayed starting because you were waiting for the perfect plan, the perfect equipment, the perfect timing, the perfect idea, or the perfect opportunity? Deep down, waiting feels safer, because if you never start, you never fail. Perfectionism is merely a clever excuse that convinces you preparation is productivity. But planning is not progress, and thinking is not doing. The truth is, your first attempt will probably be messy, and that is okay. Every expert you admire started as a beginner. Nobody creates masterpiece level work on day one. Progress does not come from perfection. It comes from repetition. Learning can become another form of procrastination. Here is something that surprises many people. Watching productivity videos, reading self-help books, and listening to motivational podcasts can actually become another form of avoidance. Do not misunderstand. Learning is incredibly valuable, and you're learning right now. However, learning without action creates a powerful illusion of progress. Your brain feels genuinely productive simply because it is consuming useful information. But consuming knowledge is not the same as applying it. Imagine someone who reads hundreds of books about swimming. Would they automatically become a swimmer? Of course not. Eventually, they have to enter the water. The exact same principle applies to success. There comes a point where another video or another book simply will not change your life. The only thing that changes your life is execution. Knowledge opens the door, but action walks through it. So ask yourself honestly, are you learning to grow, or are you learning to avoid doing the work? That single question can reveal more than you think. How to break the cycle. Now that we understand the problem, let's talk about the solution. The first step is surprisingly simple. Accept discomfort. Stop waiting for the perfect feeling. You will rarely wake up excited to do difficult work, and that is normal. Discomfort is not a sign of failure. It means you're doing something meaningful. Next, start much smaller than your mind wants. Ignore the perfectionism demanding a total lifestyle overhaul tomorrow. Instead, work for 15 minutes, write one paragraph, or read one page. Small actions seem insignificant, But consistency beats intensity every time. Habits grow from repetition, not dramatic bursts of motivation. Another powerful strategy is changing your environment because willpower is limited. If your phone distracts you, put it in another room. If your desk is cluttered, clean it first. Delete social media apps during work hours. Do not make distraction easier than progress. Design your surroundings so the right choice is the easiest choice. Finally, practice self-compassion. Guilt does not create discipline. It creates avoidance. When you criticize yourself for missing a day, you invite procrastination. Forgive yourself quickly. One bad day cannot erase your progress. Treat yourself like a close friend with honesty and kindness. So, what do we learn today? Feeling lazy does not mean you are lazy. It often means your brain has simply learned to protect itself from discomfort. Motivation is not the answer. Systems are. Perfectionism is not always excellence. Sometimes it is fear. Learning is not enough. Execution changes lives. Furthermore, lasting success does not come from becoming a completely different person overnight. It comes from showing up again and again, even when you do not feel like it. Remember this: lazy is not your identity. It is simply a behavioral pattern, and patterns can always be changed. The person you want to become is not created by a single perfect day. They are forged through hundreds of ordinary days where you choose action over excuses, one small decision at a time. If this video helped you see yourself differently, let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. What is the one goal you have been putting off? And what is one small action you will take today? Write it below. Sometimes making a public commitment is the first step toward real change. If you enjoyed this video and want more content about psychology, personal growth, success, and the science behind better habits, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thank you for watching. Remember, your future is not determined by how motivated you feel today. It is determined by the small actions you choose to take, especially when you do not feel like it. See you next video.